Let's see.
So it's kind of weird talking to myself. So you basically a good thing to start with is you want to start from the bottom left or bottom right, whatever. And the rule is you want to pack orbs as tightly as possible. So what that means is you want everything as close together as possible to so have space. Um,
Corner and then hacking them.
yeah. Obviously, it depends. You want to make rows and stuff, or you want to like your guy. You need to make hearts, heart crosses. But leaders who require like high combos or leaders who like if you're practicing, it's nice to just do combos. So let's say you have 6 blue orbs. Like right now, I have 7 blue orbs.
Yes.
You get 2 combos essentially if you don't connect them. So yeah, so that's what you want to do. And you can start from anywhere really. I like to start from bottom left usually, but if you see that you could make like one swift movement and get like more combos in a certain area, then you might want to start there. Um, and basically, you don't want to be too concerned about the rest of the board. You only want to focus on one area, one section of the board at once. Um, and basically, as you match them, the rest of the board gets pushed outwards, and that will cause like once you get there, it'll become a smaller board essentially, and it'll be easier to match. So yeah, so I'm gonna start bottom left again. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do green at the bottom, um, green at the bottom, and then maybe dark, and then red, and then lights, and maybe another dark if I can fit that. Otherwise, it'll just be on the right side, and then I'll come back down from the right side. So it'll be like dark red. Actually, no, not red. Dark blue. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. Basically, I don't want to pre-plan that far. So
Okay.
I get the greens, darks, blues. Come over, get the lights, and then now this isn't that good, but basically I want to disconnect the two darks, right? So I come back down and break them up. Yeah, so it's really just practice and really just like there are other nuances like controlling things, but basically as long as you get comboing down on a basic level, stuff is all just things you learn on the way. And then there's certain patterns that you learn to this blue orb in between the lights on the top left. Basically you know that you can just do like left right like this to make one combo. And then the hearts down here you can kind of just go like this and that becomes a combo. And then there are things like Skyfall, for example. You come over, you make this green, because the light under there is a combo, so you make the green. I'm not going to go too much into Skyfall because it's more complicated. But the general reason you would want Skyfalls is sometimes you kind of, the board isn't really nice and it kind of forces a Skyfall on you. In order to save time, you would use a Skyfall instead of just like spamming circles and pushing an orb outwards. And the main biggest reason for a Skyfall is when you have Skyfall, what happens is it matches the existing combos first, and then the Skyfalls come into place and it matches the later combos. So what happens in that case is every single combo will push the board further, and it will every additional movement that the board has will result in more accidental combos. So as you have matches and as orbs come down to replace them, the new orbs will be more likely to fall in a way that causes a new combo. Because you're doing like Skyfall focus, so it basically just causes more movement on the board over and over, and it causes more combos. Yeah, so right now I'm gonna start on the right because I see if you pick up this green orb, there's two combos right away just from going up. So there's hearts and lights, and then I'm probably gonna pull down the red and maybe take the blue or use another heart. In general, the way you want to select what orb you pick is based on your board. So now, there's two darks on the left, which are pretty far from the darks on the right. So if you want to put a dark combo on the right side, you might want to start with one dark combo, because you can pull it the furthest. Because if you don't start with that orb and end with that orb, what happens is that you have to circle all the way down there and then bring it back up to the right side. But if you just pick up that orb, you have very fluid movement and control over it. And yeah, in general, you want to pick up an orb that doesn't stop your flow. And the reason why I'm not picking the dark orb now is because I'm actually going to push it to the left side. So I don't want to hang on to it and be stuck, end up like blocking myself into the lower part of the board. So I'm just going to use green because there's only two green orbs and I don't need it anyway. So start from the bottom right, hearts, lights right away. I pull down the red. And then I do another heart in here. And then what I do here, so if you look here, I pull up the blues. I do this. And now we have like another heart gem, but I come up like this. I hear it. So there was basically my 6 hearts lined up. So I went back down to put them on different sides of the different rows of the board, so that they don't become one row.
No. That was bad of me.
Yeah, so basically a perfect board means 10 combos. So you have 3 3 3 3 5 batches of 3 on the left and 5 batches of 3 on the right. That's like a perfect board, which almost never happens. Most of the time you'll have around 8 combos or 7 combos that you can always do. Yeah, and it doesn't really don't in this be, and you want to avoid the middle, because once you do combos in the middle and you get stuck in the middle, the rest of the board is wasted. So it's the same. Again, it's like the concept about the open spaces. You want as tightly packed orbs as possible. And it doesn't have to be horizontal. Like you could just do what you could do is, in general, you'll notice that when I match the bottom side of the board, when I match it like 3 horizontally and I go upwards, it becomes very hard on the last row, the last 2 rows, to fit upper combo. So what a lot of people do is they do 3 horizontal orbs twice on the bottom, and then they do vertical orbs. So they do 3 vertical, 3 vertical, 3 vertical, and then so that covers the whole board. So I'll just do a quick demonstration. Yeah, so this time I'm gonna start from the bottom right. I'm gonna make 2 horizontal combos, and then I'm gonna do vertical ones. So here you'll see hearts, then blues. That makes it quite a bit easier to do matches on the top section, basically. Oh, I messed that up really bad. Yeah. Ideally, I'll actually 9 apart. So it would have been 9 combo. You disconnected.
Nope, I'm still here.
Oh, it says you disconnected though. Oh, okay. If you open Messenger or something, that happens. Like a chat head. Or if you open notification, like the overlay. Yeah.
And it's always played.
But yeah, you'll notice that like what you're doing now is space. So like sometimes it feels very simple to just go through and make like 4 combos randomly, but the problem is it locks some in, but sometimes it just gets very complicated to make new combos, which is why it's usually worth the time and effort to just make really tight combos, because it always takes longer for sure, because you have to put them in the right spot, but in the end it makes everything else easier, which ends up saving you a lot of time.
Yes, it's honestly better to create combos.
Yeah. So
Side to side.
so here I have actually 9 combos because I have a light in the bottom right, and so basically I messed up in the sense that I didn't bring it up to the top, and technically it would. Yeah, and then I'll just show. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna show. I'll just show like general orb manipulation, I guess. It's really, if you've played this a few times, you'll probably already know. But it's just, I guess the quickest way to create a combo when the orbs are in a certain position. So, for example, I'll just move like the from the bottom right. So if you look at the bottom right, you have 3 lights and 3 greens. So that's 2 combos. Generally, so if you want a Skyfall, you could go like this. You could pick up the heart, you make the light combo, you come over and you get the green. So what happens is this is already 2 combos because the light, it gets resolved and then the green falls down and it creates a second combo. So that's one combo, and because of that I can go up and I can keep making these just mal-aligned combos. If you look at that, they fall down and that's, but I'll go over a little bit in terms of like, yeah, just the movement. So if you look on the right side, right, the top right, you have red. If you pull out the green 1 block to the left, that's 1 combo, and then you can make the dark combo right away and probably the hearts, and then maybe like light at the bottom of all of that. You really need to kind of decide on at least like 4 combos or something that you're gonna pack together, and then the rest, it just becomes more fluid.
I'll still find a way to mess this up.
Yeah, it's fine. You just need practice.
No, I hate doing up and down stuff. It's a pain in the ass. See, it's much harder doing combos.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I'm just gonna, I guess, just keep manipulating the bottom black, dark orbs just to show some of the movement. So this, you come up and you would make 2 combos. If the darks were like this, then same thing, you just come over from here and you do that. It's like that. And if it's obviously, if it's like this, then you come in from the right and you do the dark combo like that. Like, it's very simple, but it's just so you don't, like, when I first started, what would happen is I would end up like running in circles just to try to get 1 combo to line up properly, because I didn't have a good memory of how the orbs, or visualization of how the orbs get pushed around. But yeah, that comes relatively as long as you know, clear a few boards and stuff. And then aside from that, it's really just, once you have more optimized movements, it's really just working on things like speed and things like Skyfall. Because a lot of time, you'll run into a boss that says, like, you need more, doesn't give you 8 combos, it gives you 7. And I don't even think only 6 combo is possible. So I think it only, like, the worst possible board is maybe like a 7 combo.
Yes. And
so what usually happens is, usually if you clear the 7 combos, you'll probably get an 8 just by Skyfall. But that's, at that point, it makes a huge difference if you're someone who's good at Skyfalls. So you're able to do, or actually the term for it is cascade. So if you're good at doing those cascades where you force the board to move multiple times, then you're much more likely to get that 8th Skyfall. And yeah, like sometimes it could just mean death if you don't get it. Yeah, so and now I kind of messed up with this red orb here. Messed up really bad. But yeah. So we're just gonna run through a few more boards, and I'm just gonna talk about, I guess, like what my thought process is.
I mean, you're Asian. Pretty sure it's just a computer process.
Generally, it's like generally I don't think about it. I just do the movements. Like when I talk, I can't think. So every time you see me talking, I'm not actually thinking. So yeah, like that's a hard cross.
I understand.
Yeah, so for reference, Chris did a hard cross in the top left, and that's what his leader requires to do actual damage. So yeah, he's like, for someone who runs that kind of leader, you would do more practice on hard crosses. And hard crosses, like I'm pretty bad at them because I don't play that style. But hard crosses, basically, a lot of the time, if you don't do it properly, it will cause your board to get locked up, and you'll lose like a lot of combos. Because it only takes 5 blocks, which is technically like 3 combos wasted. But a lot of the time, it'll end up being like 4 combos, 5 combos that you're losing because of the inefficiency of the board. So yeah, so right now, I could do blue on the bottom, red, and then green, and then another blue on top of that. So I'm just going bottom up on the left side. And it doesn't really matter if I have like red first or blue first. Yeah, so right now I'm going to pick the purple because that's the odd one out. You want to get that out of the way, and you want to have more fluid control over that. Ideally, you want to end with the purple orb, so it's like, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to do... okay, I'll do red on the bottom, I guess. So red on the bottom, blue, green, another here. Yeah, so right now you can already see that I have 3 remaining red. I'm actually stacking greens, so the it's at the bottom. In this scenario, there wasn't a heart on top of them to make another combo. But because all combos on the top, that gives you a higher chance to get a heart orb to fall down. Because you have how many? You have 5 colors in total, and then hearts. So when you have 2, and I'm just gonna do, yeah, it doesn't really matter what I pick up, but I'm just gonna pick up heart, and I'm gonna do light, green, heart, light. Yeah, and that's another huge blob of dark. So this is something that I'm just like really bad at. That's like a massive blob of dark over there. And yeah, this is actually horrible. So 5, and then could have just been 2 dark combos. But yeah, for the most part, those are just like, it's just perfecting matching. If you get a big blob like that, but you have like 6-7 combos, that's already pretty good. And the rest is just like more practice and stuff. I haven't played for quite a while also, so yeah, 4 combos, 5.
Yeah, that was bad. I was too focused on this.
Yeah. Like you were on the top, and then you saw like a free combo down there, so you went down to do it, and then you had no space for the other ones.
Yeah, so I know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start bottom left, which is slightly messier. It's probably better to start bottom right. Yeah, I just want to push the orbs to the right side. Do hearts first, and then dark, and then green. And then here I'm just gonna red over first before going to the right side and doing blue. Oh, and actually I'm doing a lot of diagonals here, but I'll explain that in a bit. I think I did like 3 diagonals or so. But it really only takes one diagonal, messing up one diagonal to just mess up your whole thing. Because when you mess up a diagonal, it basically gets translated, right? So if you're doing a top right diagonal, it will get translated into like right, one movement right or one movement up, or it'll get translated instead of swapping the diagonal orb. So when you mess up diagonals, it's really painful because you start to get stressed out and then your brain just completely, at least for me. So I'll just show. So bottom right, there's 2 darts. I'm gonna swap them, and most likely I'll probably fail, because it's a very precise movement, and I'll explain, how you recover from that. But for the most part, it ends up, yeah. So the second time I failed, and what happens is, if you noticed, I did the diagonal back downwards. So the top one worked fine, but I did the diagonal back downwards, being a left down. So that you do a right, or you do an up right again. So you just go in the opposite direction, repeating the same movements to fix that. But basically, diagonal, all you gotta do is you just drag an orb diagonally, but it needs to be like relatively precise in order to actually work, because the game doesn't know if you're trying to do like horizontal movements. Yeah, so this one is pretty nice. Something you can do is you can count orbs. So you can see, like, I have 5 blues here, which is only gonna be 1 combo. I have 5 greens, 1 combo, 4 lights, 1 combo, 2 darks. So dark, I'm basically never gonna use. So like the right side is pretty packed, so you can just start there. You can do blue, red, green, light. I'm just gonna pick up dark because I don't need it. Or I can pick up the heart on the right side because it's basically in the way, but it's necessary. So yeah, you can see here it's kind of like a little jam, but there's no other orbs, so I'm just gonna do diagonals, and I'm gonna just pack them more tightly. What happens here is I got a dark skyfall. That's because I put the 2 dark side by side, so I gave the skyfall more chance to actually just give me 1 dark. Well, not more chance to give me a dark, but basically it only needs to give me a dark in order for that to become a match. And then there's more like techniques, which I'll just touch on briefly, but it's really it's probably too much for just like a beginner. But essentially, whenever you make wrong movements, you just gotta reverse the action in the opposite direction, and so that actually creates, I'm not sure if there's a name for it, but there's a way where you basically do kind of like a U-turn or a loop. So let's say a boss requires like 8 combos or 9 combos or whatever, and you're running out of time, but the boss doesn't kill you on this turn. Maybe like he hits you for like 10k on this turn, but the next turn he does like 100k. And you're running out of time and you don't want to mess up your board. So, or you have a nice and you don't want to mess it up. So what you can do is, if you have the turns to spare, you can actually use that technique of moving in the reverse direction to just mess things up. You mess things up, and on your next turn, you come back and you finish that side of the board, and then you do the rest. So you essentially double the time you have, but you use 2 turns. So that's probably confusing, but I'll just show now. So you your board normally. For example, I take a blue, and then I do I pull up the dark here, and at this point, this is a really okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a big loop. Okay, that messed up really badly. GG. I'll do it next turn, but rectangle. But basically, you stack the orbs on the left side, and you do kind of like a U-turn. So once you get to the very top, you do a U-turn, and then you can like work on the right side, or you can just drop the orb. And then later on, what happens is you just do the next turn, you can match like the right side or whatever, and then you do the U-turn back in the opposite direction, and that will basically make it'll recover all of the previous matches you had. The main thing you gotta be wary of is you don't want to do the U-turn to the edges of the board, because yeah, I'll just okay. I'm gonna grab a light. I'm gonna do red, dark, hard, light. And so once I'm here, I do the U-turn downwards, okay, and then back up. And you'll see that they're basically all like slanted now, so they don't become combos. And then I stop here. If you just pass the turn, Chris. So to pass the turn, you hit menu, and then you go to pass turn. Anyway, so I could grab that light orb, or I could grab any other board, it doesn't matter. But basically, okay, let's say here we'd get, yeah, I'll grab a light orb because we have 2 more lights on the right side there. So I take my my light orb, and I go from my exit point on the last turn. So I go from my exit point and I follow the same path in reverse. So this. But the reason why you don't want to do this, you don't want to end on the edges, is because now I have to go out this way. If you had a combo here in the way, then you're screwed. Like, you can't go out that way. So you usually want to do the reverse in the opposite direction. And so yeah, so that gives me significantly more time to finish the combo. Yeah. So I'll just do like a few more of those, and then you can get some practice, and then we'll stop the recording. Not sure what else there is. Yeah, I think the main takeaways are just you don't really need to count like the orbs. For me, I don't really do that. As long as you see like, okay, I can make this combo, I can make this combo, and you put them together, really good starting really far. And aside from that, it's really just getting used to the orb movements, the way it gets pushed, so you don't spend like 2 seconds on one combo just because you keep getting it arranged in the wrong format or in the wrong like layout. Yeah, that's basically it. The rest is just practice. So here, same idea. You see that the light is the odd one out, and I can actually make a combo with the light. So I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna put red on the bottom. I'm gonna put hearts, put blues, put another red, but then diagonals here, if you're noticing. I'm doing a bunch of diagonals to kind of just yeah, to get the heart combo in the top properly, and I'm putting the hearts on the edge here, the edge combos, so I can get Skyfall. This time it didn't Skyfall, but you just, in general, you just want to increase the chances. Yeah, and you don't always have to kind of do one side of the board and then switch to the other. Like you could do two combos side by side on the bottom and then do that. It's just whatever you're used to, really. So for example, I can just do like the blues first because it's convenient, and then I do the reds, the greens, and and then here I messed up royally because it's like, yeah, a lot of reds, but basically you break them up. Yeah, so art for this board, for example.
Top right.
Top right. So if you look, it doesn't really matter. Like you can start wherever.
Yeah, top right. Yeah, because you can create darks on the bottom, green on top right, and yellow on the top left.
So yeah, so I'm just gonna, before you move, I'm just gonna talk a little bit. So the reason why the bottom left isn't so great is because there's like two greens, two darks. You require a lot more movements to either push them out or to get them in. So bottom left isn't that great. Top left is like, okay, it's pretty good. Top left, lights, blues, lights, and then the bottom you have a lot of extra lights, blues, hearts, and then you have a lot of extra orbs. Top right is okay, but for me, I would do bottom right, because what happens is you take the yellow orb, move all the way to the right horizontally, and then you make a square. So you go all the way to the right, down, and then left again, and that makes the red and dark combo right away. And then you go up one more space and you get green. So that's like instantly 3 combos in like 5 movements, which is pretty nice. But it's really, yeah, it doesn't really matter where you start, as long as you can see the stacking, visualize the stacking, and then get them together as tightly as possible.
Okay.
As quickly as possible.
I will pass my turn so you can show that.
Huh? No, you can't pass anyway. Oh, you wanted me to show it. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I want the lights, so I pick up the light. I go to the right side, right? Come down. So this is about just knowing how the orb movement impacts, right? So right now I know going to the right, going down, going left, going up, and then doing this gets me 2 combos. Done. And then here I make a green, make a light, I make a heart, and right now there's really more combos, so I'm just gonna do diagonals and finish the board. But a lot of time what you can do is, when you're, because sometimes in order to go to the bottom and make another combo, you'll end up messing your board at the top because it's already perfectly aligned. in that scenario, you would just align it properly, align the top properly, and you would have to break them up, go to the bottom, do whatever combo there, and then enter back through your exit in the same way to repair the top side. Yeah, so finish your reds, finish your darks. Yeah, so you're kind of jammed there. Like you can do a diagonal, but it's quite hard. Um, yeah, there is just because your diagonal messed up. Actually, it happens quite a bit. So here I'm just doing. I didn't.
You can't hesitate much on them, or else you will mess up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's even combo. More practice. More practice. There's I could also explain, like, I don't have any board changers, but there are other kind of strategies and stuff, I would say, for things like if you're using a leader, like you using Zuo is what I was gonna talk about. Using Zuo and then making kind of like, if your leader requires you to make rows do more damage, or if you have someone that makes the whole board like 2 colors or 3 colors like Zuo, and you're trying to make, for example, prongs, which are 4 orbs connected together, or you need to make rows, then there are different arrangements and strategies that you can utilize. But in general, those are really just like, you don't need to worry too much about those as a beginner. If you just practice, packing orbs efficiently, doing combo efficiently, will come later on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just gonna do like some more random combos in like different arrangements. So I'm gonna do kind of from the bottom right, I'm gonna do 2 horizontal stacks, and then I'm gonna do 3 vertical stacks again, like what I described previously. Yeah, and then here I actually had the option to kind of do. Oh, I messed up. I did horizontal stacks. Anyway, yeah, this is bad. So you'll see that the darks on the left, it resolved, and then I arranged the reds so that it would fall down. It's obvious that I had the reds in a position where they would be connected with the right side, so it would turn into 1 combo instead of 2. So what I ended up doing was changing the, like, if you're watching the video, you can just do replay, but I ended up moving the horizontal orbs in vertical position on the far right, so that the reds on the left side of the board could result in another combo. Yeah, which is somewhat of a problem, but ideally I would want, on the bottom left I would have 1 dark, and then on the row on top of that, on the right side, I would have another dark, and then the remaining darks would just be somewhere up there, not connected. So I'm gonna pick up, I have 5 light orbs here, and I have a lot of dark, and no matter what, I don't want to connect the darks, because then I'll lose like 2 or 3 combos. So I'm just gonna pick up 1 dark from the right side, make the right side combo, and then I'm gonna come down, get the dark. So now we have the, yeah, it's kind of iffy like this basically, and the blue right, so chance for skyfall. Yeah, but the most important thing again is just packing orbs tightly, efficiently, and not being concerned about the rest of the board. So yeah, like how the rest of the board looks doesn't matter that much. Um, it's really just solving one section of the puzzle and then doing the remainder of it, because the remainder gets, as you see here, Chris, he packed the right side very tightly, so now the remainder ends up falling and becoming much easier. Yeah, because they have no space to move, so they automatically put into that arrangement. And yeah, so putting the hearts, so I could put the hearts like this, but I'm putting them vertically, as you can tell, because of ball chance again. And then I'm greens kind of close to each other, so the next board that we solve, the greens are closer together, because there's no way for me to combo them, and there's no way for me to put them in an easy skyfall arrangement. So do like three more boards, and then we'll stop, I guess.
I mean, we're almost done with this one.
Yeah. So a bit of info. My leader Yomi is Tsukuyomi. This version of her, there's like 3 or 4 versions, but this version of her evolution, it's pretty useless aside from like tutorial purposes, because her leader skill, she doesn't do any additional damage. Her leader skill, it adds 10 seconds to your movement time, which is why you see we have a lot of freedom to just like move around the board and stuff. Yeah, it's because of her leader skill. Ooh, bad. So if you saw that, I all are together. So pretty quickly went with them, and then I did the diagonal for combo. But yeah, basically these two teams, we're not activating any of the leader skills, because Tsukuyomi basically has no multiplier, and my team were all selected for monsters with extra awakenings, so they have extra time extend awakenings. So we have just more time to arrange the orbs and talk about the movements. Chris's leader, Renov, requires our hard cross to do, it kind of does a shield and stuff, and then it does extra damage and stuff. Yeah, so usually you want to find a leader that synergizes with your skill. So with a hard cross leader, with someone who requires a hard cross, you pretty much have to have a friend leader that also requires that. Otherwise, it's very hard, because fitting across and then switches, it takes 0 stamina, and you can just go for 50 floors and whatever. But yeah, in general, like I think it's probably impossible for our teams to beat this whole thing, but because we have no multiplier, Chris maybe can, because he actually has a multiplier. I can't, because I can't fulfill his color requirements.
I mean, the highest I got in this was 48, I think, or 45.
No, I think we beat it the last time we did a tutorial, though.
No, we didn't.
We didn't?
No.
Yeah, because Tsukuyomi is just like so bad. So bad. And here I'm just messing up horribly, apparently. So was I would be putting the darks and the reds the uppermost position, instead of having the 2 greens blocking. And you see with the Skyfall, I actually got a dark and a red there. So I actually messed up 2 additional combos just because of that. so more matching. And you see here, like, my combos are like pretty poorly packed. But for this board, there's not really more combos I can get. The best case scenario is like the heart on the right with the 3 hearts. But that's about it. There's no more orbs that can be cleared. So for that scenario, it's mostly the only way to improve on that thing is packing the orbs more cleanly and doing more cascades, so you get more skyfalls. But aside from that, like that's the most combos you can get for that board. Yes, I think we're gonna die soon. But I'm just gonna do vertical combos and some horizontal combos. Whatever. It doesn't really matter once you're there. I also messed up quite bad because of the darks, but I moved them aside anyway, so. And if guy that which we didn't, but we still got 11 from somewhere else. Yeah, so if I guess the way some people solve the board is they actually look at all the orbs, look at all the combos ahead of time, and they like that's how they solve it more cleanly. But if you're like me where you just want to do it like ASAP and you want to like run the dungeon like just die really fast too, it doesn't really matter. Like you just 3-4 combos and then you like YOLO the rest. So pre-plan like really far ahead if you want. So here I'm just doing diagonals, which I messed up to get the in. You just more tight. I really do that. But yeah. A big challenge would just be just handling the lights and the hearts alone would be a pretty big deal. Or pretty big issue, rather. So you see at the bottom the lights are connected. I'm just gonna ignore that for now. But yeah, I'm just gonna come back and fix it. There's not really... Yeah. I messed up both left, but I was just focused on not bunching up the lights and the hearts. And the rest of this video, I'm not really gonna talk about anything. So feel free to just stop watching if you haven't already. Yeah, it's just gonna be more of this YOLO matching, and then pretty soon we're just gonna die. So there's that. No, that was bad. Yeah, so that board was like a bit harder to match because everything was more far apart.
Hmm.
Yeah. Usually there's like clusters of colors somewhere, but
I think this is where I lost.
this one,
Yeah, just soloing it.
oh,
I think I'm trying to remember.
Renault's pretty strong though. Yeah, there's Endless is like not that fun, but for when you get like later on, once you clear this one, it unlocks more, or maybe it's already unlocked for you. I'm not sure, but a bunch of the other ones they get harder and harder. Like I think the next one's like you don't get health orbs, no RCV, which in a sense is easier because instead of six orb types, you have five. So more combos, but basically you can never heal damage, so you gotta like one shot everything, or you gotta bring someone who makes heal orbs, or you gotta do both. So and then the other ones like uh, there's like a harder version of Endless, and then there's like um, a board where it's like instead of whatever board size this is, it becomes so this is 5 times 6 board. It becomes like 7 times 8 or 7 times 6 board. I think 7 times 6. But it's like a larger board, which is actually a bit easier, but it's easy to just like feel like it's very blurry or confusing. That's pretty good. Um, Here I'm just gonna do a Skyfall for greens. Then I'm gonna do. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Okay, so I'm not sure if she kills us, but we start doing hard combos on the next stage. So this is like a pretty good board clear, where everything is everything matched, and then I got a also on the left
Nice.
for the red. Just like do damage and heal up. I should be able to kill her before 3 turns, but we'll see. Oh. Yeah, so usually you don't actually want to do a hard cross because
Oh,
um
let me see.
yeah, it's fine because what's happening is you're earning a lot of hearts, and you're actually not going to kill her. So you lose your heart cross buff, which means that you won't be able to use it later. And because you hearts, you you won't heal as much. And this is another, yeah. Ooh. Okay. She's not gonna kill us though, so it's fine. Make sure you get the heart also. I'm not sure if you die without it, but yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have died. I'm just gonna not do as many combos, cause I don't want to die, cause we still have a few turns. Actually, I don't have any colors anyway. I'll just match. Okay. Yeah, I messed up that red over there. Oh, I forgot to kill. My bad. Just heal up and stuff. Heal up and get some combos. Try to make 2 heal combos if you can. Yeah, nice. Because one big cluster actually does less. Okay. I think I might kill now. I'll just make heart. Hmm. Yeah, make a heart. Actually, not sure why I did that last turn, but
Yeah, we're not gonna beat this.
probably not. Very, very unlikely that we will anyway.
It's already 2 in the morning.
Don't worry, we'll die soon enough. Tickle, tickle, tickle. I don't think I have anybody that makes hearts. Oh my gosh, this diagonal. Oh. Yeah, no, we die on this guy.
Bet.
We die. I can't do damage. I can't make hearts anyway, so.
Oh yeah, I messed up. Messed up.
Fine. Yeah, we dead.
Just end this.
We dead, bro.
It's true. It's gonna be about.
Huh?
The story is gonna be an hour long.
Yeah.
An hour long tutorial.
I mean,
Hey, let's go.
the rest is just like.
Returns.
Oh.
Just pass a turn or something.
Pass a turn. You know that doesn't like increase the turn counter, right? Oh. Oh. I wish I actually had color.
Will this be enough?
Well, we're not gonna kill the boss for sure.
This is what you said after the last guy.
Yeah. My bad. Well, to be fair, I already used my damage boost. Because I have a skill that gives you 5 times for gods or something. God monsters. So that's gone, and I can't do damage because the maximum I can do is what, 12.5x, because I don't have the colors.
Oh, just kill this guy.
Basically, only you can. And the thing is, with the last guy, I don't think we can tank a hit. Well, if we get hearts, probably. I think we can, but
Yeah, you be the one making cross.
if we have heart cross, then we can. But other than that, no. You actually do more damage with heart cross if you get all your colors.
Okay, do a hard cross on this and kill this guy.
Why would I do that?
Are you gonna kill him?
We can just do normal kill.
Okay, well, go ahead.
I wanna save hearts though.
Save them. Just use one.
Are you up combo?
Okay, kill him.
Do I need it? Maybe I need to hard cross actually.
Yeah, you will.
I don't wanna.
Just do it.
Okay, whatever.
You won't be able to do enough damage solo.
Yeah, I don't think so. If you did more damage, probably, but. Oh my gosh. This is horrible. I'm at 12 because I don't have the colors. That high.
49, I thought we were on the 50th.
I think she one-shots us. I'm not sure.
Please.
Just match. Just match. It's fine. She does this slapping thing, apparently.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, so yeah, she would have killed us.
Hard cross?
And she hits every turn, so yeah. We're dead.
Just hard cross and kill.
Yeah, we're definitely dead.
I'm actually gonna hard cross this and then get 12 combo from Cascade.
No, I can't though. Cause I don't have color.
Damn. Cross for Jesus.
I mean, as long as we have 5 heart orbs, we don't die, but
That's not.
yeah. Even if we kill her, we're not gonna kill Zeus. Oh no, Jesus cross, please. Nice. Yeah, it doesn't even matter because it doesn't.
I just honest, I'm messing up a lot. Like,
Yeah, it's all just practice.
man, it's because with the other phone, like when I would like look be too small, that I was just like my finger would fly.
We are close. I messed up the darks. I did 2 dark combos. Ooh, already did it?
Yes.
Nope. is like your Renove, so I don't even think I do 12x now.
Wait, what?
Just hold an orb. Hold one orb and don't move it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Keep holding it. Don't let go. Okay. Okay. Match board.
Well, do I let go?
Yeah. Let go and match. You can match the board now with anything. It's fine.
Oh, that was by accident.
No. Oh. Oh, you can kill her.
No.
Why not? Why did you make jammers?
Why not, man?
Oh my god. You can kill her.
Now I can.
Well, now you can't because.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, I end.